Welcome to the Girl Gang. I'm Katrina Gardner of Katrina and Create.
And I'm Dominique Goyette-Connerty of Evergreen Marketing. On this show, we're going to chat with women business owners in Massachusetts and those who support local women in business.
Because girls don't just want to have fun. They also want to sell real estate.
They want to open a brewery.
They want to teach others to invest in the stock market.
They want to take stunning photos, plan lavish parties, and help people recover from injuries.
Girls just want a podcast.
What can we say?
We're girls.
Welcome back to Girls Just Wanna.
Welcome.
Happy Women's History Month.
It is Women's History Month.
I love this month. I mean, I don't love the weather. Like, it's still like,
Today is actually terrible.
Today is actually freezing. It is so windy out there, but we did have a couple days of nice weather. And hopefully we get back to that soon. But yeah, Women's History Month. Shout out to the ladies, the trailblazers, all the women-owned businesses in the area, all the women who are leading organizations. Obviously, like, that's basically what we're doing with this podcast every single week, but it just feels more special when it's like an official month to recognize it.
Is this the month that we started the podcast a year ago?
So it is. I was thinking about that. So technically we started recording last March.
Yeah.
However, and we recorded like the first week of March or something, and we wanted to release it by the end of March to be like, we're starting this new podcast, Happy Women's History Month. But then you recall we had all those issues
when you depend on a man
with the male editor that was originally doing our show. So we dumped him, and
here we are.
Because hashtag dump him, ladies. And yeah, so that was like the end of March. We wanted to have the first episode out by the end of March. We didn't end up having the first episode out, I looked, until like the first week of May.
Okay.
Which was crazy because that was such a long time to wait.
Yeah.
We were trying to get all the video and audio from him.
Yes.
Which was such a struggle.
Yes.
He was like not answering. He was not sending us everything. So
we were very politely asking for our property.
Yeah.
And then we stopped
intellectual
asking.
property. Yeah.
And then we stopped asking
like,
politely.
We're like, you know what? So anyways, so it's been a year since we started recording, but we didn't actually release our first episode till May of 2020.
It was, Women's History Month, and
yeah, we were just flying high.
Yeah.
It was exciting. It was a different time.
It was. A lot can happen in a year.
Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I just went and saw Taylor Tomlinson live this past weekend.
You did?
Yeah. So for those who don't know, she's a comedian. She has like 3 different Netflix specials.
Yes. And you've seen her before.
I did. I saw her 2 years ago. Same place, the Bach Center, or whatever we're calling it, the Wang Theater in Boston. So beautiful. And I saw her 2 years ago. I saw her this year, and she's still just as funny.
It was good.
She's hilarious. Yeah. And like, we just love women in comedy. Like, women are funny.
Yeah. I really like women comedians just because of like, you're able to relate to the jokes that they tell.
And I always think of like, I read Tina Fey's book, Bossy Pants or whatever, like probably 15 years ago. Like, I was like in middle school or something when I read this. And I always think of this clip she has with Dave Letterman, and he's interviewing her talking about, like kind of like breaking barriers and women getting into comedy, like her and Amy Poehler and like all these women were on Saturday Night Live and whatever. And he was saying like, like back in the day, like we just didn't have that many women at the table for like comedy stuff. I don't know what he was saying exactly. And he's like, I don't know. We just didn't think you wanted to. And she was like, yeah, but we did.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably the most serious I've ever seen Tina Fey be. Yeah. She just like shut it down immediately. Just like, no, like we did, and we're fucking funny. Yeah. So.
And also like, so Nikki Glaser, she hosted one of the award shows and like killed it. Did a phenomenal job. Whereas like all these men try to make certain types of jokes that like just don't land.
No.
And like, she was funny. She was quick-witted. Not offensive.
She was the funniest one too in if you had the patience to sit through the like 3-hour roast of Tom Brady. No. Remember that special? Okay. Yeah. So they had all these different people get up there to roast Tom Brady, and a lot of them were guys, obviously. But Nikki Glaser was the funniest out of everyone.
Yeah.
Like, she killed.
Yeah.
because women are funny. Hello.
Hilarious.
Yeah, look at me. I'm funny. I'm funny looking. No. But like, yeah, women are funny. And so anyway, so I saw Taylor Tomlinson, highly recommend. And also if you haven't seen her Netflix specials, you should binge watch all of them because I've seen each of them like 5 times now. And they still make me laugh.
Nice.
And this one, the one that she's on tour for right now, it's called the Save Me Tour. She does a lot of like religious upbringing jokes and also a lot of queer jokes because she came out as bisexual within like the last year.
Okay.
And so she's like, my agent does not like this because she's like, I'm out here making religion and queer jokes.
Yeah.
But still super funny. And I think it's going to be a Netflix special at some point too. She's obviously still on tour. So I think towards the end of the tour is when they record it. So that'll probably be a special within like a year. So I'm excited to watch it again.
Yeah.
On my TV.
Love that.
Yeah. So anyways.
Okay. Well, should we bring in our guest?
Yes.
All right.
Hey ladies, are you looking to grow your own local girl gang?
The Young Professional Women's Association has been named Worcester Region's Best Young Professionals Network for 7 years now.
YPWA offers countless social and professional opportunities to engage and empower local ladies like you and me.
Right now, Girls Just Wanna listeners can get discounted access to YPWA's annual membership.
Go to ypwaworcester.com and enter code podcast 2025 at checkout to receive $20 off their annual membership. Again, that promo code is podcast 2025. We hope to see you soon at YPWA events.
Welcome to Girls Just Wanna, Adriana Vaccaro. You are the CEO of Culture Redesigned.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. It's good to
for
see
having
you.
me.
It's been a few years since I've seen you and like
Yes.
gotten a chance to catch up. Well, tell everybody what Culture Redesigned is and what you do.
Thank you. We are a organizational culture company, and what makes us different is that we use a lot of data. So we support people that want to deliver a great culture, not only talk about a great culture. So we help them make their aspiration real. I did human resources for about 15 years.
Okay.
And working for large companies, I realized that a lot of times culture is kind of like an illusion, a poster on the wall, a slogan somewhere, a little merchandise. And I really wanted to study the idea of how do we take the concept of culture and make it something that employees actually experience and even customers can experience, vendor can experience. And that's how the company got started. But I didn't know if my idea will resonate, so I kept my full-time job for a year. And then in 2021, I left my full-time and I've been doing this.
Oh, good. Okay.
Solely since.
Awesome. And so how has the business grown then in the past like 4 years? So you have employees, right? And
I do. It's tough to get a business going right after the pandemic, but I think the moment you realize that what you are doing delivers results, sales become a little more natural, and referrals are a big help, obviously. So I had a really great opportunity with American Red Cross, and I think having a big client like that in my portfolio really helped me hire people and have more structure. And then other clients started coming, and it's a dream, and I'm extremely grateful, and I work hard every day.
Absolutely.
We keep evolving. We just develop a new culture assessment. We're investing in the business. So that's exciting.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'm so happy for you and glad that you've, been working for yourself and kind of making your dream come true, and that your original idea of like culture being a practice and not just kind of like this hypothetical whatever idea that we talk about but we don't actually put into practice is resonating with other companies and helping others. I was reading on your website, so you have this like approach or this method maybe that you could explain to us, the Culture, CULTURE method. what does that stand for? What does it mean? Why, like, how does that help you in your approach to this business?
I think it helps us really continue culture work and embed it into what we do. So the method stands for something.
Yeah.
And it starts with clarity, not only of the culture, but of people involved in the process, understanding what culture is, which is really everything is how we act, interact, react in the workplace. And I think unless we take those core values that we say we have, unless we take that sort of theory and put it into how are we serving a customer, what are we writing our job descriptions, what are we expecting from employees, unless we really connect all the pieces and make it sort of tangible, then we call it ritualizing, which is normalizing any behavior that supports the core values, and also not accepting behaviors that are not part of the core values. So if you have a company that wants to honor honesty as a core value and you have a person that is not delivering that, you cannot tolerate that behavior. So it's sort of educating everyone in the workplace about what we tolerate and how do we address the things that should not be tolerated.
Right. So it's like living up to what you say, right? It's not just saying we value honesty, it's then acting on that and being honest. And then when someone's not being honest, it's like addressing that behavior.
Right.
Right. And not just letting it slide.
Yes.
Got it. What types of clients do you work with? What types of people? So like, are you working directly with CEOs, with leadership teams, or are you coming in and working with like the whole organization and doing a training, or a certain department and training on a certain subject? Like what does that kind of like interaction look like?
Well, ideally we would want to work with the whole organization, but we have some clients that have called us to address maybe a particular behavior or a particular department. So we can do that. And we, with the data analytics tools we have, like the predictive index or our own assessment, we are able to kind of like take a measurement of the environment when we come in, do some work and development, and then measure again. And usually that helps, like if I was working with a department and they present that, then it's like, oh, we should do that for the whole company. And then for what type of clients, not intentionally, but I am grateful for it. We work with one nonprofit organization, and then we started getting referrals. So I will say 50% of our clients are human services nonprofit organizations, and then the other 50% are for-profit in a variety of industries. We have robotics, we have manufacturing, we have construction. So not a specific industry, but just kind of like a variety.
So would you say that any type of organization, any type of company can benefit from the culture work that you provide?
Absolutely, is industry agnostic, because if you have a group of people and you are attempting to accomplish something with a particular style, that will fall under culture work.
Culture is a thing no matter where you go. Like in nonprofit, for-profit, any industry, like you're saying, right? If you have a team of people and you're all trying to accomplish one thing, then naturally you have a workplace culture that has all different types of dynamics.
It is so funny. I recently read that like people that don't work on culture, companies that don't work on culture, they still have a culture. It might not be an ideal culture, but they still have a culture, because we as humans, it comes from like anthropology, we are wired to be in a group or a collective. So normally that normative behavior, what is expected and accepted, that becomes your culture. So you might as well have some ownership of what's happening.
I also feel like in the last few years, especially with the pandemic and like work shifting from in the office to at home, what is workplace culture has become like a thing that people are talking about and trying to pinpoint. You know, it stopped being like, I think years ago, and this wasn't accurate, but people would be like, our culture is that we have like pinball in the break room. And like, then you realize
and you're like, that's not culture.
That's actually not true. So I wonder if that's something that you have to either explain or discuss or help companies like figure out,
yes,
you think it's this, but it's actually this?
Absolutely. I like to use the term culture flakes because they sound good. And I go to some clients where the facilities are beautiful and they have these like swings. And through my validation, we hire a PhD to validate our own assessment. I kind of like secretly wanted to prove that it's really good to be in a nice place with swings, but we couldn't validate that part of the workplace. So yes, it's not the same. And also like things that we were able to validate: trust, leadership, employee engagement, psychological safety that you always get from your manager. Those are things that statistically we were able to prove, yes, that leads to something. But everyone being in the office, does it lead to something? Not all the time, because they could also be at their desk shopping. So
right.
Totally.
Yes.
So I know you mentioned like you officially started Culture Redesigned and you took it full time in like 2021. So obviously starting a business in the pandemic, as you said, comes with its own challenges. However, I feel like since the onset of the pandemic, like what a time to be working in workforce culture, like as an industry.
Yes.
Because I think so much, as you were saying, so much about workforce culture like has changed since the pandemic, and people are talking about it a lot, not just because of the going remote or going hybrid, not just that one aspect, but just people are so aware now, or it seems like we're having more conversations about work being this major part of our life and us wanting to be, fulfilled by it, or feel safe when we're there, or feel this sort of way, or get this sort of thing out of it. And I just think we're having like all these different conversations about what we want from work.
Right.
And so I feel like what an interesting time to be the expert on workforce culture. And there have been so many trends, right? So we've seen the Great Resignation. We've had, of course, the talk about remote work, hybrid work, in-office work, return to office mandates, quiet quitting, all these things. Like, what a time for your business, right?
Yes, it's so funny because when you say since 2021, like in my mind, like that was really long time ago, but it wasn't.
I know.
And it's because it has shifted so much, like, quiet quitting. And now we have presentism, right? Like when people are going to work, but they're actually not contributing. So there are different phenomena that we can study. And I think something interesting about this organizational culture is the fact that unless we keep a pulse on what's happening around us, my work will be obsolete. Like if I was still talking about quiet quitting, I will have nothing. So I have to always stay super current. I read research as if my life is going to end if I don't, because I also want to make sure whatever I'm putting out there and whatever I'm teaching my clients or facilitating is really relevant. And something I learned before, or I guess now, not something I didn't know before when I was just in my HR desk. I knew culture was work for business, but now I know culture is humanistic work. It's like good for human beings. And I know it sounds romantic, but it's something I didn't know. But that idea that if you contribute in a workplace, you earn a paycheck, but you also feel good about yourself. You get a sense of belonging. You're more connected. There is less risk of suicide. There are just major things that can be prevented through positive cultures. And how amazing is that?
And it's also a great investment for the businesses to invest in their culture, because that means that their employees are happier, which means they're staying longer. And it's expensive to hire new employees and to go through that process. So it really is worth it. And I don't know how many, businesses are aware of that, but.
We do have a little calculation we do with clients on just tell us how many employees you lost last year. And then multiply that by a third of their salary. And that number is that we can save us in a year. And we're able to prove that over and over and over.
Yeah.
So tying that the project with savings, even though it's not the most important part, but they don't realize they already have the money to pay for this because they're spending that money on their turnover.
Right. Yeah. So have you, like, has there been, obviously, you know, you've had Culture Redesigned full-time since around 2021, but have you seen more of a demand as these trends that we just talked about, like the quiet quitting and return to office mandates, and people are struggling now with their culture and with retention or with recruitment of new employees? Is your work more in demand? Are people calling you like, oh my gosh, like I'm having such a high turnover rate, or oh my gosh, like I can't get my employees to come back to the office? Like, what do I do? Or are they turning to you like frazzled?
I think sometimes I get the panicky call, but it's almost like they know if they have a culture problem, but they're always thinking they need something else. So I get calls all the time for employee training. We need more employee training, and it's like, and you can train the crap out of people, but if they don't have a good environment, I think culture work is fundamental. But I do, for some reason, I get a lot more requests for training work than for culture work.
And that's interesting too, because you can say like, oh, we have an issue with our employees and they need to be trained. And it's like, it starts at the top.
So it's more systemic than it is anything that a one-time training could fix.
Absolutely. But I think there is still that misconception, oh, something happened here, we need training. Like,
right.
Or I get this all the time. Can you do a 1 hour training on like harassment? Is like, do you think you can teach people how to
not harass?
Yes.
In an hour?
Yes. So I think it's understanding that the environment conditions our behavior, and it's not really about teaching someone a skill. It's about assessing the environment so that it's not conducive to a particular behavior.
Yeah, so it's almost like instead of calling you in after there's already been an issue and we think, well, let's fix this or let's address this now with a 1 hour training. Before there's even an issue, like a specific issue, they should already be investing in strategic planning, culture work, leadership training and stuff from the get-go to prevent those issues down the line.
Yes, absolutely. But the harassment or the anti-racism.
I was gonna say, like, do you get the same request for like, can we do a 1 hour DEI training because someone made a racist comment?
Yes.
If you already have an environment where someone made a racist comment, let me tell you, a 1 hour DEI training isn't gonna fix that culture.
Exactly.
Brutal.
Yes.
Absolutely brutal.
Mic drop, Dominique.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
And the 1 hour, I don't know what is it with an hour, but it's like, do you really think an hour of someone in a room will solve all your problems?
Right.
No.
Especially if you have a 40-hour work week, I think people need to know, like, 1 hour is a drop in the bucket for people who show up here 40 hours a week, every week, 52 weeks a year. Like, that is such a fractional amount of time to be spending on this major thing.
Is it that they just don't understand the scope of the issue, that they're just like this 1 hour,
they just think it boils down to this one problem? Maybe
I think they concentrate on fixing whatever triggered that phone call and not looking at the whole picture. But yes, I get those very often. The 1 hour training, I'm like, would you consider like a 3 hour training? No, we can do one. And okay, well, gotta go.
So funny. Okay, switching gears a little bit. You have a book coming out.
Yes.
In April. Congratulations.
Thank you. And I am sweating because I submitted my manuscript and I think everything is in place. And then someone comes back and one of the proofreaders said, well, you mentioned so-and-so's book and this hospital, you need to ask permission to mention them. And I'm like,
so you're learning about being an author.
I'm like, okay. So I reached out to one author while I was waiting for you guys here, and she was like, "Oh, I'm honored. Go ahead." I'm like, I thought this was going to delay everything, but no, everything seems to be moving.
Good.
That's so
So
exciting.
tell us about the title of the book, when it comes out, where people can get it, what it's about.
Thank you. I am extremely excited. So the name is Culture Minded. Culture-minded. Initially, I was going to name it Mind Your Culture, but publisher said it was aggressive, like calling people out, which is kind of what I do.
You're like, it's kind of my brand, though.
Yes.
Hold on. You're like, wait, we just had a mic drop in the interview. What do you mean?
I thrive on this. So Culture-minded, and these 6 tools that we were able to validate. If you really are a people-driven organization or leader and you want to create those environments where people get a sense of belonging and it's also good for your business, the book has a whole kind of like prescriptive framework. So first you'll know what level of maturity you're at, and then it will tell you how to get to the next level. And we have established 4 levels. Fixed culture, which is like if you don't have a culture, you have a fixed culture. Reactive, evolving, and empowered. So it's completely data driven, research driven. I love numbers.
Yes.
So it's funny because as I kept writing, the publisher is like, we need stories, like personal stories. I'm like, why? Like, can we just do business? But yes, I was able to share some of the development work, and I'm really hoping that if a person is not ready to, invest in culture work, at least reading the book, they will understand the importance and even understand how our own biases and our own things we tolerate will affect the environment. And that's really the big promise, is like, even here, the 3 of us right now have a culture because we are together, and I'm reading your language, you're reading my body language. So this is a culture. If every place we go, we have awareness of that, imagine what we will have, but we don't.
So the book is almost like that first step. So if people haven't invested in your services yet, right, they read the book and now they maybe come to this realization, like, okay, we either have a problem that we can start dealing with, or we know we need to get ahead of this and invest in this.
Yes.
So when does the book come out?
I mean, if I get all the check marks I need to, is April 21st.
So exciting.
It is exciting.
It's so close.
It is very close, and oh my gosh, yes.
And this is your first book, right? You haven't written a book before?
No, I've written chapters for other people
and contributed.
Yes, but it's my first book. Yes,
that's exciting.
Well,
yes, congratulations.
I'm getting the book.
Yeah, me too.
Will you sign it?
You're famous.
I 1,000% will get this book and read it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Thank
me
you.
too. We'll post about it too when it comes out.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to me, and I've learned through like the writing. Obviously, English is my second language. I moved here as an adult, so I had all these fears, like, can I really write a book? And even when it went to the beta readers, I was sort of like bracing myself. What if everyone hates it? But the feedback was, so they blind the authors, so there is no bias. But I didn't get any negative feedback. So it was all like, it all contributed, but it wasn't like, I don't understand what she's saying.
Right,
like, none of that. And that gave me, my own insecurities. It's like, it's okay. People know what you're saying.
Yes. Amazing. Well, I'm so excited for it to come out. We'll definitely buy it, read it. That's awesome.
Start a book club.
Girls just want to read. Watch out. Katrina's probably serious about that idea. She will start a book club. Okay. So before we kind of go, is there any sort of, and again, it's not just like this prescriptive, we know that culture is this big systemic thing, but is there any one like maybe takeaway or piece of advice that you can give to business leaders and organizations listening, what they need to know about culture and the work that you do and why it's important? Is there any sort of like nugget of wisdom you can give to boil it all down?
I have like 3 landed on my head, but I'm going to go with one that I think is, we can all learn it quick, and is remembering that every individual has 4 key elements. We have our brain, kind of like how we are wired neurologically. We have the heart, story, values, whatever we like. We have a resume, skills. Normally, people only look at the resume when we're hiring or working with someone. And then we have an invisible backpack. We have oppression, we have trauma, we have things that we've gone through. You don't need to know everything about me. You just need to know I have those 4.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think when we keep reminding ourselves, every person we interact with is carrying something. We don't know how heavy it is.
Right.
So I think that is helpful.
That is a good reminder.
And to look at the whole picture and not just the resume.
Look at the 4 elements. Yes.
Right.
Excellent. Okay, well, tell everybody where to find you online, how to like inquire about services, and then where they can buy or pre-order or look forward to your book.
Yes. Okay, so my website is cultureredesigned.com. I am on LinkedIn, a platform I understand. I do not understand the other ones. I'm trying to. And my book will be on Amazon, or you can email me and I'll just send it to you.
Amazing. And before we go, we like to give everyone the opportunity to shout out other women in business and women leaders. Do you have anyone in mind?
Yes. So Paulette Pinheiro is someone that I think we all need, that person that believes in our potential even before we do.
Yeah.
So 5 years ago, she told me, you're gonna blow this away, and I have, but I didn't believe it when she said it.
Right.
And I think she's helped me so much with my marketing and different areas. So she's great at her job, but she's also big into community and amplifying voices, and so I love her. I want to pay it forward to her.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This has been enlightening, and we are so looking forward to your book and everything else that you go on to do.
Thank you both.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Want to show your love for all the local ladies in business? Girls Just Want a Podcast merch is now available on Etsy.
From stickers to mugs and hats to tumblers, you can rep your favorite gal gang wherever you go.
Your purchase helps us continue to rent studio space, upgrade our recording equipment, and pay for editing software.
Find Girls Just Want a merch on Katrina and Create's Etsy shop. Link is in the show notes.
Welcome back.
Heart it or hate it.
It's time for Heart It or Hate It.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Heart It or Hate It, arcades. You're like, haven't been to one since I was 10.
No. I mean, no. I guess I'm going to go hate it. I'm not really like, I don't know. I guess I'm just not really that fun. After I just finished talking in the intro about how women are funny, I don't think I'm fun.
Not fun, but
I
funny.
just don't, like, remember we talked about, like, I don't like amusement parks?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I'm not, like, good at arcade games. Like, oh, okay. I do like skee ball.
Yes, that's a good one.
And air hockey.
Yep.
Everything else, not good at it. Don't know how to play it.
Yeah.
I will say bar arcades are like a thing now.
They are.
So like free play, and what's the other one that's open? I don't know.
There's one that my husband Jesse goes to. I think it actually might have closed. All Systems Go, or like it's moving or something.
Okay.
Because they would do like Tekken tournaments. I think they would do like Mario Kart tournaments too.
Oh, okay. See, like those, like I like Mario Kart, like on the Wii and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna go hate it. It just like doesn't really seem like my scene. Not that I hate it for other people, but
yeah,
I don't think it's my thing. But I mean, I've been to free play a couple times and it's fun. It's just like not my go-to.
I will say I did go to like one of the adult arcade bars once in Portland, Maine. Jesse and I went, and it was really like grimy. And I'm not usually someone that like
notices that stuff. So if you notice it, yeah.
The reason why I brought this up is because apparently it's Jamie's friend's birthday party season. So we went to Love to Play, which is it's like a Chuck E. Cheese, but it's got like the big play thing, and then it's got the arcade games. And it was the first time that Jamie got to see like an arcade, and that was interesting. spending lots of my money to let a 4-year-old play arcade games. And I'm just like, there's no chance this kid is going to get tokens.
Yeah, we need tickets, Jamie. Come on, we want a big prize.
And we are going to Chuck E. Cheese for another birthday party in a couple
weeks.
Chuck
E. Cheese is still open? That's still a thing?
Yeah.
Where?
On Route 20 in Worcester. Or like Worcester.
I didn't think Chuck E. Cheese was still like open.
It's like 10 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so that's for my niece's birthday party. And my sister and brother-in-law are excited to host the birthday party there because Chuck E. Cheese has beer. So that makes a kid's birthday party more fun.
More doable.
Yeah.
So are you going hard it or hate it?
That's interesting.
You're the one who put it on the list.
I know. I think I used to heart it, but I'm an old lady now. And I would rather go other places and spend my money elsewhere.
That's my thing. Is I'd rather spend my money
if
doing
like
something else.
The plan is to go to an arcade, I'm gonna have a good time. But if I'm making the plans, that's not where I'm choosing to go. So I'm gonna say hate it.
Fair enough. All right. Heart it or hate it, floss picks. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Heart it.
Okay. Heart it as well.
Okay.
So I've been flossing more because shout out to New Year, New Me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but I have been making more of a conscious effort to like floss more often because I'm not good at flossing. And I've never liked floss, just regular floss. And I know people are like, it's not hard. You just wrap it around your 2 fingers and then you just slowly unravel it and you just move down the line.
No,
I can't. I can't handle it.
It's weird.
And so I've only, like my whole life, I've only ever liked using floss picks.
Yeah.
And now part of me feels guilty because obviously like it's another piece of plastic that I'm throwing away. Single-use plastic. So I feel guilty about that. However, I make so many other good choices to not use so many single-use plastics in other areas of my life that I like will let that one slide. And here's the thing. You also hear from like dentists or other people like, well, floss picks aren't good as far as for flossing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, but it's better than nothing.
That's how I feel about it.
Like, and I was saying this to someone the other day, like, if floss picks are the only way you're going to floss, then use floss picks. Like,
I think my dentist has told me, and it might be specifically because I have 2 crowns. And so they were like, you should, when you floss, like, put the string in and then like let it come out instead of yanking it back up out of my tooth. Just because I think that like movement, because the crown, like, you know, it's glued in there, but it's just like a cap. So they just don't want it to be like, but also I think my dentist, and we have the same dentist, has said the same.
Oh yeah, we do.
has said to me, like, if floss picks are the thing that's going to make you floss, then do floss picks.
I like when people are real with you like that. Yeah. Like, I hate it when it's like an all or nothing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's the same thing. Like, I could compare it to like a workout regimen, right? Like, if you don't work out at all, like if you live a very sedentary lifestyle and people are going to tell you like, oh, well, the only thing that's going to help you like lose weight, get in shape, and like live an active life is, you know, you have to do this HIIT workout or whatever. Right. And you're like, well, I'm not going to do that. Can I just walk every day? Yeah. No, because that's not going to help. Like, yes, it is. Yeah. Like, if all you can do is walk for 10 minutes a day, like, that's better than nothing. Right. If the only way you're going to floss your teeth is with floss picks, like, that's better than not flossing at all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It still does the job, maybe not as well as real floss, but like.
The only way you're going to drink water is to fill it with Crystal Light. Better than no water at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, so heart it all the way.
Yeah, heart it. I'm a proponent. I think do what works for you, even if like it's still some progress, even if it's not the best progress.
Agreed.
Not the best version of the progress. Okay, that's my rant on flossing. Thank you.
Heart it or hate it. Lemon8, the app. And
I've seen ads.
This is my cry to the audience of what the hell is Lemon8, because it's on TikTok. And
I've seen the ads on TikTok. It was very much like move over to Lemon8 because TikTok's going to be banned.
Yes. And so the girls just want a TikTok page has been getting notifications. So-and-so has followed you or has like requested to follow you or has requested that you follow them on Lemonade. And I'm like, why did you do that, person? Because I don't know what
person.
Hey, you out
hey,
there
you.
in the world.
We look directly into the camera, break the third wall.
So it's an app, and I put it on here because I am kind of just curious. Does anyone actually use it? That's what I want to know.
I'm going to go hate it. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to download it. I don't have an interest in it. But let's find out when we post on Instagram stories.
Yes.
Like, does anybody use this app?
That's my goal here.
Okay. Let us know. If you're seeing this before we've posted the Heart It or Hate It Instagram stories, you should just DM us and be like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
And just tell us what's up.
But yeah, I'm going to say hate it. And I usually try out every social media app. I'm always curious. This one I have not. I'm kind of mad at it.
Okay. Last one. Heart It or Hate It. Cold girl walks.
Hate it.
Okay.
No.
Here's the thing.
No.
I'm going to go heart it.
No.
I don't like the part of being cold.
No.
Obviously. Like, I don't enjoy having to bundle up to step outside of my house. But as I mentioned, I think on one of the 2 episodes ago, you know, I've been trying to, but literally besides kickboxing, the only activity I don't get any activity in my day is I'm just sitting at a computer. So like, that's why I go to kickboxing so much, is I'm like, I need to move my body. So I've been trying to move my body more like sustainably by just like walking around my neighborhood, which I've had issues with the weather, it being so icy, my neighborhood being like disgustingly trashed by all the ice and snow and disgustingness. And so like, that's really my only option right now is like some cold girl walks when I can get them in. And it's good to just like not be sitting at a desk all day, but I don't like being cold, but like I do need to like.
No, I say hibernate in the winter.
I'm like just trying to be a human. I'm just trying to be a functioning human.
No, you're doing the right thing.
I'm doing the right thing. Don't get me wrong, I do not like the cold part. I'm not a proponent of it being 20 degrees out. But if this is the only way, like it's not like the summer. In the summer, I'm just like outside, I'm gardening, I'm sitting out there, like, I don't know, I'm walking around the neighborhood, I'm taking the kayak down to the lake, I'm going to the beach with my mom, like I'm always like out there, like going. That made her physically ill. No, I'm just kidding.
I choked on my chai.
So I'm like, I feel like this is my only option right now for winter because as you and I have discussed, I'm not like a ski and snowboard girly.
Right.
I'm not an ice skating girly. So this
Just
is my last option.
A good indoor hobby. But none of them are active. Yeah. Like just knit in the winter. That's a good winter hobby.
Well, I'm going to have to go hearted on cold girl walks.
Hate it.
Okay.
Not for me. I will say now that it's getting warmer, Jamie gets off the bus and he just immediately walks away from the house. So I have been going on more outdoor walks lately because I'm like, I guess we're going outside. So yesterday he was actually really cute. He was like, we're going to go on an adventure. And I was like, oh, we are. And then he was like, we're going to look for rabbit eggs. And I was like, rabbit eggs? Interesting. I think he's learning about Easter maybe.
Probably.
So.
Sounds right.
Yeah. So we went on an adventure. We did not find any rabbit eggs, but it was fun.
Cute.
Well,
all right. That's it.
That's it. Sorry that I coughed all over you guys. Later, ladies.
Later.